Hey there, folks. The Jets are in their second week now of organized team activities practices. So what are our early impressions here of John Morton's offense now that he's the new Jets offensive coordinator, obviously? So, look, we've only been able to observe two practices, Tuesday last week, Tuesday this week. So let's not draw any major sweeping conclusions about what we've noticed so far. But this is some thumbnail sketch impressions of what John Morton's offense might look like. Look for the Jets to involve the tight end a lot more than Chan Gailey did last year and the year before, which is to say not at all. So Austin Seferian-Jenkins has looked fantastic through 2 weeks of OTAs. Again, it's very early. We're talking about non-padded, non-contact practices, but he gave up drinking in the off season. He's come back slimmer and fitter and sharper. So that's one thing to look for. I think you can also perhaps expect the Jets to use Matt Forte more on third down. That's Forte's early impression based on his conversations with John Morton. He was not happy with how rarely he was used by Gailey last year on third down, because Forte, remember, does have a pretty solid pedigree as a pass catcher out of the backfield. Another thing, kind of a broader thing that Robbie Anderson, the Jets' number 3 wide receiver, mentioned is that he thinks this will be a pass-happy offense. We'll see how it all shakes out, but typically, with a West Coast offense, you will see some of those type of situations where you're obviously going to involve receivers and tight ends on shorter, quicker throws, and Morton's background is in a West Coast offense, and with the Sean Payton mold that he comes from in New Orleans, where he was the wide receivers coach before taking the Jets job. So those are just a few thumbnail sketch impressions early on of what the Jets offense under John Morton might look like. Again, very early, so we'll see how things shake out for the rest of spring practices and then going into training camp.